As a lifetime creative, I'm fairly fluent in the discourse of chaos. However, as you can see from the image, it really is time for me to rein in the black, stormy clouds that represent having too many major projects intertwining and boiling in the cauldron at once. There are 3 things that I've done to attempt to rein in the chaos. I have added a slight redesign to Kat and Haley's Team Project Pan spreadsheet. I have divided my Team Project Pan into 3 major categories, and I've split off my empties for June into a separate short video, which I posted the other day, and I will link up in the cards. If you'd like to see any of those attempts to rein in the chaos, let's begin. I'll talk about is, and I'll do a split screen and insert the key features of the changes that I made to Kat and Haley's spreadsheet for Team Project Pan. One of the complications with using this spreadsheet is, in essence, I'm tracking 2 sets of empties. I'm tracking my Team Project Pan, and I'm also doing monthly empties, which include other products that are not in that Team Project Pan. The first thing I've done is I've added a space at the bottom of the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is linked below if you're interested, if some of these shifts sound interesting to you. Basically, at the bottom of the spreadsheet, I now have a category where I can go back through my monthly empty videos and add the dollar value for the products that I have used up in those videos. The second change I've made is there is now at the top of the spreadsheet a line item that gives you a running total for all of the items, whether they're from your monthly empties or from your Team Project Pan. To get that function to work, I had to program another column where I go in and manually enter an E for the value if that product is empty or decluttered. Once that E is toggled, the column transfers the cost of the product over to that column so it can give you a running total. If that doesn't make sense, just have a look at the spreadsheet. You can look at the formulas, you can adapt at will. The spreadsheet is now functioning for me as a bird's eye view. It's as though I'm in an airplane a mile over the town where I live, and I can survey the topography of the land at a glance and understand what my usage habits are and what the cost of those usage habits are. That's real data that I can use to inform my buying decisions. The second thing I've done to attempt to control the chaos is I have split off my empties from my Team Project Pan. So let's look at that third category of my Team Project Pans. This Team Project Pan update does represent bringing in a few new items to replace some of those empties that I spoke about in my empties video. To simplify things, I will do this one category at a time. I currently have 6 products in category 3. This is the category of products that I will not declutter. I will make an honest effort to work through. These 6 products are adequate. These 6 products, in the words of Phil Hartman's character on News Radio, if you are familiar with that, these 6 products are adequacious. They do the job, but they don't particularly do the job extremely well. And in most cases, they just have one or more characteristics that I just don't enjoy. Let's begin with the Ilia cheek stain. I am wearing it today high up on my cheeks. I will zoom in so you can get a little portion of that. It is a natural product. I have spoken of it before. It is just slightly too deep for my skin tone. With this product, I feel that the adequaciousness has to do with it's a cream product. It's a natural product. It seemed to fill a niche that I thought I needed to fill, but on application, it just really doesn't do anything for me. Now, that may be my application. I don't know. Keep it in rotation because I am giving it an honest effort and I'm attempting to understand the product through use. The foundation that I pulled into rotation to replace my Estee Lauder is the Clinique Even Better SPF 15. This honestly was the first foundation I bought a couple years ago when I was getting back into cosmetics. For many, many, many months, this was my go-to foundation until I started experimenting with other foundations. So my beef with this foundation is that it never really sets down. It's not particularly long-lasting, and it is not particularly flattering on my aging skin. How about I insert a non-flattering. It doesn't really do anything for the fine lines around my muzzle. I have about 1/3 left, so I feel like the end is in sight and why not get my money's worth out of it. The third product in this adequacious category is my Benefit blush in the shade Dandelion. I am beginning to see progress on this. I will keep it in rotation. I do not use it every day. The Tarte Busy Gal Brows, I just neglect this all the time. Because it's tending to dry out, I don't feel that it's appropriate to declutter it. I will attempt to use this up. Before I use the Chanel Le Volume, again, this was my go-to Holy Grail mascara. I feel that perhaps because it sat in my drawer from roughly November, December until June, I feel that perhaps it dried up a bit in the interim. It was never as lush as I remembered it. Doesn't seem to want to coat these lashes on the outside of my left eye. I have been practicing with my winged eye look, and let's do another close-up. How about? I've been practicing with my wing because Risa Does Makeup recently uploaded a brilliant tutorial for using a brush, eyeshadow, and topping that with liquid liner in order to get a decent winged look on aging hooded eyes. I will link that in the description box below. It is very effective for me, and that inspires me to pull my Clinique liquid eyeliner into my Team Project pan for this go around. That brings us to the second category. This is a larger category. I very much enjoy using the products. There is nothing adequacious about them. Will not be able to replace them either because I have too many products in that category, for instance, lipstick, or I have that exact product in backup. Let's begin with what I'm using for my eye palettes. First up, the Persona. This is going to stay in rotation. I absolutely love this palette. I'm still getting good use out of my Kevyn Aucoin face palette. I can get an awful lot done with the Persona, the Kevyn Aucoin, and my Fame palette from ColourPop. These are the shades I have on my lid today. Because I'm spreading the usage out over 3 palettes and supplementing with some of my other eye palettes, I just never expect to see any weight change, even in my project pan. Because I usually dip into one of those 3 palettes for my essential eye look, they will stay in my Team Project pan. Another shimmery shade I often dip into for either highlight or eyeshadow is this Surratt in Ariel. Now, I love this shimmer. I've swatched it before. I love it. It's so finely milled. These other 2 shades, my Grisaille and my Rose cheek colors, I use again interchangeably on my eyes and on my cheeks. Love this palette. 2 more eye products. This one I brought into rotation because I broke my Marc Jacobs in Earthquake. This is the Urban Decay in Demolition. It is just your standard gel eyeliner. I do enjoy this. It's a good brown for tight lining. It does a fairly good job staying in your waterline. But the weight has not changed. I have finally figured out how to sharpen a pencil, which is good news, and helps me commit to using manually sharpened pencils because I can do so without having the ragged edge from sharpening jab me in the eyeball. Foundation, this is just about empty. I use this as a mix-in sometimes with my Clinique, even better. This is the original formula of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light in the shade Intensity 2.0. This is my favorite mixing foundation. It does a better job helping a foundation set down and helping to neutralize the color of a foundation that's slightly too warm. My Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. I can definitely see that I am approaching pan. However, the weight does not budge on my scale. Go-to primer continues to be the Laura Mercier primer. I do enjoy this. However, I have multiple in backup, so even though I enjoy it, I actually would enjoy panning so that I can move on to some of my other primers. I have less than half to go on the Clinique Happy. It's fresh, it's soapy, it's very enjoyable, it's very two-dimensional. The 5 remaining products in this category are all lip products. Let's begin with my lip cheat, Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Pillow Talk. This is my go-to liner when I'm wearing a neutral lip, as I am today. Today I'm wearing the Charlotte Tilbury with my Chanel Rouge Coco in the shade Adrienne. I am making progress on this. I've actually moved a lip gloss into my Team Project pan. This is the Fenty gloss in her original formula. It's very comfortable. It is very natural. It's not transfer proof. It is slightly tinted, but it's a neutral tint. It's not too sparkly. It's not too sticky. I really like it. Also remaining in my Team Project pan is my Charlotte Tilbury Kissing Formula in the shade Bitch Perfect. I love it. 5th lip product, which I've incorporated in my project pan, is the Revlon 16-Hour Liquid Lip. It's the formula with the liquid lipstick on one end and the gloss on the other. This was gifted to me during a conference by another teacher who teaches in my district, and thank you, Dahlia. I still continue enjoying this. It lasts so long, and this really is such a wonderful, wonderful treat. Every time I use this product, I'm brought back to the many, many days we spent in 2018 working together to bring relevant technology to our high school English classrooms. So thank you again, Dahlia. This is a treat that keeps on giving. We are officially at the most interesting category. This is the category of my true holy grail. 10 products in this category. 2 I've moved in from other categories in my Team Project pan. Let's talk about those first. Surprisingly enough, over the past week, I've been using my Too Faced Shadow Insurance. And the reason I've bumped this into my prized category is after watching Risa Does Makeup's tutorial on the winged liner, an eyelid primer is essential to that look. So I've brought this back in. I still conceal around my eyes. I apply just the tiniest dab of the eyelid primer all the way around my eyes, and I've been able to build a wing that lasts all day, and I've had much less transfer to my lower lash line over the course of the day. So this becomes Holy Grail territory. The other product I was surprised to move into this category is the NARS Multi-Stick in Orgasm. Very surprised to move this in because it was always kind of an adequacious product that I never really reached for. However, because it's been part of my project pan, I've been using it and I've been learning how to apply it. And now that I understand how to apply it, I adore it. I'm going to come in close and I'm going to show you what it looks like close up on my cheeks. I'm not currently wearing any highlighter. And I'll turn slowly so you can see that close up. Now the only glow on my cheek is from this product. And the experiment that ultimately paid off for me in terms of application is I just rub it vigorously on the back of my hand as a palette. I dab in a found a fluffy foundation brush. This is a fluffy Chikuhodo foundation brush that I purchased last year off of Beautylish. I just rub that in, dab it onto the apples of my cheek, and really buff it up and out. And I find that with this application, I really love the look in the summer. All right, we are almost done. Let's talk about skincare, and then we'll go back to some of my other holy grails. 3 skincare products. 2 of them have been in my project pan. Misha Essence Time Revolution is getting awfully low. Because this is a Korean ferment, this is distinct from any of the other skincare products in my inventory. I really won't say anything else about this. This is, other than to describe how much I have left, I'm about halfway through my Biologique Recherche Lotion P50 1970 version. I talk about that all the time. If you're interested in hearing more about it, I will link my recently published morning skincare routine video up in the cards, and you can refer to that. New into my team project pan is the Tatcha Hydrating Mist. According to the website, the Dewy Skin Mist is formulated with more than 20% botanical oils and humectants that leave skin dewy. The way I've been using this product is either while I'm applying my skincare or as a refresher anytime during the day. A little more than halfway left to go. This one is the NARS Liquid Laguna. I love this. I have it on today. I've made peace with the leaky pump. This, I believe, has shifted into my 3rd category. I have made progress with the other love of my life. My Bobbi Brown Illuminating Bronzer, as you can see, has even more pan showing. There are 2 concealers in my Team Project pan. I continue to adore and use my Clé de Peau. I am making progress on it. This, I hope, will last me a year and a half, all told. It is an incredible value considering the quality of the product. My Lancome Effacerne I've pulled into rotation because I just like variety, honestly. I adore this concealer. It does a wonderful job under the eye. It's a massive container, 0.52 ounces. It is over half an ounce. Second to last product in my holy grails is the Jo Malone Wood Sage and Sea Salt. I am really still, oh my gosh, I could swim in this. I really could. It layers so extraordinarily well with other scents. Last 2 products in my Team Project pan are ginormous powder containers. My Clé de Peau is my go-to for setting my face, especially the under eye area. Even though it looks like a massive container, this top part is just a screw-on lid meant to keep the puff at hand. I do not use the puff, I use a fluffy brush. And then this inner lid screws off. You have a mesh that's removable and just kind of flops around in there. I love this for setting under my eye. Now, I learned about this with Michelle Wong in her powder series last summer, I believe. I've had this over a year now, and I'm nowhere near even halfway done. So this is a long-term investment. The cool thing about this product is when I replace it, and I will when I run out of it in 3 years or so, you can purchase just the powder section at a significant cost savings. The other powder in my Team Project pan is my Chanel Universal Powder, and I love this. This one I use honestly as a finishing powder. If I've gone too heavy on my cheap products, I buff it into my skin. I definitely use it to powder my T-zone. It is imperceptible on the skin. I do not use it under my eyes, but I use it everywhere else. Thank you so much for joining me. I feel a little calmer. I feel that I was able to exert some control over the chaos of having so many projects overlapping with tracking my no-buy year, tracking my Team Project pan, just trying to get a grasp of learning how to use products in my collection, etc., etc. filming, attempting to find new locations. This is currently my dining room. Let me know if you prefer this look, if you prefer the look from my morning skincare routine, which is in my living room, or if you prefer the old look in my studio. I would love to hear from you. If you're considering doing Team Project Pan, although I thought it would accelerate the cycle of consumerism, but honestly, I don't feel that it has done that. I feel that the process of making YouTube content really helps me be more methodical and mindful with how I am using and rotating through the products in my collection, and how I think about purchasing, and how I think about temptations and new releases. If you're new to my channel, please consider hitting like and subscribe. I would love to see you back again. I post currently on Wednesdays and Fridays, and I will link here in the closing screen to 2 recent videos that aren't really getting any airplay, but I feel that they bring value. My morning skincare routine will be up top, and my June favorites will be below. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday, and I will see you in my next video. Ciao.